Hello, MonstersAbound here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Immortal Empires, what I think is part 27 of my Belegar Ironhammer campaign. Not sure, fairly sure it's... I came in very strongly, it's definitely this episode, and started recording, and it just didn't feel right to say 27, but I'm going to say 27 anyway, and I'm probably wrong, but there we go, that's just how we're going to roll. Now, last time we confederated with the dwarves, and that does mean we now have a swath of territory. However, it still doesn't fix our problem, because we need Karak Norn, and we don't have Karak Norn. We have every other victory condition, but we do not have Karak Norn, but we still need Karak Norn. Now,
greetings from Sigma. Absolutely not.
Carl's dead set against this. Now, this is a problem. It's a problem for two reasons. Two reasons? I didn't really count the reasons, much like the episode. Who cares? Doesn't matter. The point is, there's several reasons, maybe more than one, that this is a problem. One, Carl will not give us a military alliance. We cannot get Karak Norn off him any other way, apart from kicking the shit out of him. If we kick the shit out of him, the likelihood is that Estalia, Tilia, the Border Princes, Carl, obviously, Bretonia, and the High Elves will all then declare war on us. That's also a problem because we will then lose several settlements that are part of the victory conditions that we need. So currently, if we have a look at the settlements that we need 8 of these. We've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if we break our military alliances with all of these factions, well, the ones we will keep will be Kazakarak, Karak 8 Peaks, Black Crag, Lemire, Khemri. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 3 more. Now, that's not actually as difficult as it sounds, because Sartosa, Miragliano, and Skaven Blight are all very close to each other down here. This little corner down here has 3 victory cities, which means it's quite lucrative to capture this area. We could, I'm just throwing this out here, now that we've got all of the military strength of Kazakarak behind us, what we could do is prepare several armies, have them hanging around Skaven Blight, Miragliano, and Sartosa, take Karak Norn, declare war on Karl, and then capture the 3 last settlements we need. It's an option. We also need Archaon to be dead, because if he's not dead, if he's not in a wounded state, then we won't win the campaign. Obviously, being at war with most of the map is a slight issue. And I have had a couple of comments like, well, you keep complaining about the Order Tide, and now you're just playing as the Order Tide. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, how else would I fucking win? Because Karl and the Dwarves are almost always going to have a military alliance together. I don't want to fight the Dwarves, because that'll be a pain in the arse. But it's almost certain that if I declare war on Karl, I'll be at war with the Dwarves. Now, I maybe could declare war on the Dwarves, but then God knows I had enough problems to start off with. I didn't need to be at war with the Dwarves as well. It's not something you plan, but it is the easiest way to win. It's not the best. Well, is it the best way? Yes, it is the best way. It is the best way to win. It's the easiest way to win. It might constructively be one of the only ways for Belegar to win, because let's face it, he has a hell of a start. I mean, you can play like the Total War achievement where you declare war on literally everyone you find. I think you have to declare war on everyone the first turn you meet them. I mean, that doesn't, to me, sound particularly fun, to be honest. Having to fight off wave upon wave of armies just sounds incredibly dull. I don't want to spend 10 episodes fighting the same fucking army again and again and again, because frankly, it would just be tedious. For me, for you, for everyone. I'd much rather play and just have some fun, like, you know, incinerating the Wood Elves. That was good. I enjoyed that. That was a laugh. And admittedly, yeah, we're allied with Karl at the same time, but fuck it, we might kill him as well. Who knows? So anyway, I have gone through and disbanded a bunch of armies. Some of these settlements we might lose, but it's not too bad. It's not. We should get a big income of There's definitely a few buildings I've knocked down, such as, I think, is it here? Yes, so we've got some growth buildings here, so we've knocked those down because we don't need them anymore. We don't have any growth buildings here, do we? No. So that's all fine. What about here? Do we have any here? Nope, I've already gone through and fixed all that. Excellent. Okay, good. Yeah, so I've been through, I've upgraded or I've set all of the, whatchamacallits, these things. What are they called? Commandments? Commandments. I've set all the commandments as well, so you don't have to watch me do that, so that's fun. So basically, I just went through, disbanded a bunch of shit. Oh, look. Everyone's... Yes, you see now this is the problem. Because Archaon's turned up, suddenly everyone's going to ally with everyone else. Or at least all the good factions will. Which kind of makes sense. If, you know, Chaos turns up, they're probably mostly going to target the good guy factions, and so therefore, having the good guy factions band together kind of makes sense. There is a slight issue when they're so ridiculously strong. Hello. Oh, that's a lot of hell cannons. Oh, that's bad. Oh, Ozpin. Are you going to be okay, buddy? Hide behind your scarecrow banner. You'll be alright. Spend a lifetime learning to be a Chaos Warrior. Getting a big old demonic horse that has flamey hooves. Making sure it doesn't incinerate itself every time you put it into a stable. And then your first battle, you are smashed into oblivion by a rock thrown at high speed. I mean, it's not the best way to go, is it, guys? 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 Wow. Wow, Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, get some fabric softener for those cloaks. Or wash them. I don't know. Something needs to be done with those cloaks. Jesus Christ, they're stiff as a board! Anyway. So Ozpin, unfortunately, Ozpin has not defeated Archaon the Everchosen, because Archaon the Everchosen immediately got his head kicked in. I mean, he spawned, he died. That's how it's gone for poor Archaon. So Ozpin, unfortunately, can't have the epic confrontation with the Everchosen, because the Everchosen immediately died. I guess they have to choose again. Can they choose it? Was this their choice? The Chaos Gods are like, yeah, we're going with that one. Immediately gets turned into a red smear. Like, can we go again? Can we try a different? Anywho, so look, this is Sigvald's lads, the Mirror Guard, so he can always see himself in their shields. Wow, they're wobbly, aren't they? Probably because I turned reflections off, because there's barely any point to them, and they just drain computer resources. Ah, look at that. Chaos Troll's getting mown down by the organ guns. The organ guns doing extraordinary amounts of damage, as per usual. But equally, these hell cannons, they have, what's that, 7 of the fuckers? That's a lot of hell cannons. Ozpin is taking on Sartorial. That's right, who can win? One very angry short boy, or a big old greater demon of chaos with a tentacly staff? Well, so far it looks like Ozpin. Ozpin's just like, get me closer! I want to smack it in the face with my bloody hammer! I want to crack his little canary skull in! So some knights charging in against the giant slayers, but we're going to be fine there. On the right flank, we do have some Chaos Warriors with halbards advancing straight into a lot of satchel charges, and then they have to deal with the giant slayers, who I probably should have charged, but never mind. Yep, exploded by satchel charges. The giant is going to reach our lines. Just about. This unit of iron breakers in the centre here is quite... oof. He's taking quite a lot of damage. Quite a lot of damage done to those iron breakers. On the left flank, the giant slayers are being wiped out. Although, it seems like Sartorial doesn't really care about wiping out his own boys at the same time, so that's fine. Ozpin is tanking everyone, because why not? There is also Kurgan? What, that guy? Sartorial is on fire, which is fine. I mean, he may be the Ever Watcher, but he probably didn't see, like, getting shot in the back with all the bullets, because that giant is now down, and that means our Thunderers can now concentrate on shooting him in the back of the head. Ozpin just does not give a shit. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't think Sartorial's going to survive this. I mean, it's apocalyptic stuff as Ozpin Bloody Kane and Sartorial the Everwatcher go at it toe to toe, but Ozpin is definitely doing a lot better than Sartorial. I mean, that's what happens when you wear a tunic. He's wearing a tunic. Ozpin's wearing a load of fucking armour, which is obviously the better choice. Sartorial is very much on fire. And apparently, yeah, and boom, down he goes. Even the organ gun crew were getting in there like, I'm going to shoot him point blank in the face. And indeed they did. Right, now we just need to deal with the... And there's Sigvold's legging it. He's like, nope. Must get my perfectly chiseled posterior out of here ASAP. And off he goes. But now we need to deal with the hell cannons. We have been smashing them with our own artillery. But of course the hell cannons are unbreakable. So even if we destroy the hell cannon, their crew will then continue to sort of like charge towards us. It's just a bunch of Chaos Dwarfs, really. I legit, you know, I'm really looking forward to playing the Chaos Dwarfs. Warhammer 3 cannot come soon enough. And so they're just going to solo charge our lines. How's that going to work out for them? I'll be honest, probably not great. Well, that's more hell cannons than I like, but that's fine. Ozpin killed them anyway, as is tradition. I think hell cannons were added because it was a Storm of Chaos event, wasn't it? Where like you know, fought battles, put the results in, and the idea was I think Chaos was supposed to like do really well, and Chaos got its fucking ass kicked. I mean, it wasn't even close. Chaos lost so badly that it was kind of embarrassing. And I think the hell cannons were brought in to try and, like, offset just how badly they were doing. Oh, what's this? Master Rune of Grungy. Plus 20% missile resistance for 40 meters. Oh, holy shit, that's amazing. That is a really nice rune. And apparently, well, we did defeat... I mean, I don't think Sigvold actually made it into battle. I just saw him running away, so... I mean, I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. It does look like Colex... I don't think they're going to survive, so we're just going to hop back to replenish. Having done, you know, the lion's share of the work there, really. Let's be honest. I mean, there is Hell Pit over here. We could actually take Hell Pit. It would be one of our victory cities. And Ozpin is up here already. It's an option. Basically, I think we just have to get ready. Get the armies in position and hit them all in one turn before they know what's going on. You know, take the victory cities, proclaim us supreme winners of the world. Before, you know... everyone gets brutally murdered by the unending hordes of Empire troops. But, you know, until that happened... What happened to North... Oh, they're down there. Did they not want to land anywhere near us? I don't blame them, but still.
The axe thirsts for war.
It does, doesn't it? Okay, come back over here. This place is going to get a pub. They're going to be fine. That place is going to get a pub. They're going to be fine. Everyone's fairly happy here. Excellent. We do have Thorgrim.
March.
So we just basically need We just need time to get our armies into position. It's going to be quite a long march, but I think we can do it. So, I mean, we could potentially go and take the Oak of Ages. It is an option. I would like to see Urist Boat Murdered back in action, but let's be honest, there's not many people left to kill, really. We're pretty much friendly with everyone. In fact, we might even be able to, like, because we now have... Hang on, where's Carl? Where's Carl? There he is. Yes, so we got the Shield of Civilization buff. So, our relation to going up to very high.
What? By the
we might.
of the Empire. Come. Right.
I'm just going to keep... You know, it's not... It's worth the effort just to keep trying. Because if we can just military ally with Carl, it'll be easier than having to surprise attack him. And I realise that the surprise attack is probably quite evocative for some people, but realistically all it does, it just means getting my armies into position and bopping them. And I could say just call it, because effectively we've won, right? If I was in a military alliance with Carl, we would have won by now. But I still really want to see that victory window. Oh, Vashnar. Oh, no.
Malevolent Lord.
Oh, I hate that guy. Ever since my Imrit campaign, when he just proved to be a massive wanker. Right, we're going to kill him. Because, God knows, I cannot be fucked. To deal with Vashnar again. I just hate that guy. So much. Okay. Alpha Squad is in position. So, we just need 3... Oh, I can teach that. Okay. We just need some armies around here. Now, we do have Belegar, Thorgrim, and Grombrindle moving northward, so that's fine. We've also got Bob. So Bob could be an option. We can bring Bob up to help. Public order here is... That's going to be fine, because we do have a deficit due to the Confederation for 3 more turns, but I think that will... I don't think that's going to have any major problematic effects, so I think we're probably fine. I don't really know what else... What building do I want here? I guess walls? There's no point getting more beer because I'm selling all of it. Plus, of course, we have to remember that if we declare war on everyone, then our trade income, which is currently 30k, is going to drop quite significantly. So that in itself is quite a large problem. Now, once Archaon does die, then there is like the Age of Peace, and I think that at that point relations start dropping. But it takes so long for sort of other factions to... In fact, I don't even know if AI factions do... Like, does that... Because I noticed when I had the Shield of Civilization buff, my relations started normalizing down to 0 again. Despite all of the effects I'd had beforehand. It almost like wiped the board. Which is fine, but I don't know if that happens to AI races as well. Because the problem is then, if you've got the Order Tide and then you lose all your benefit, like all your positive relations, you probably end up at war with the Order Tide anyway. We do have an army over here as well. Of course, it's fucking Angrund. I don't want the Quarrelers. Let's get rid of you. I don't want the... Do I want Slayers? Nah, we've got Giant Slayers. Seems like the obvious thing, really. Just go full Slayer, doesn't it? Just go full Slayer. Okay, good to know. Thanks. Bit intense, but sure. Oh, we've got you as well. I mean, all this is options. We've got armies in position. We can do this. We can take Karak Norn. We can take Hell Pits. I mean, if these guys fucked off, we could even take the Oak of Ages. This is supremely... I mean, this is doable. We can do this. We can do this. Okay, so let's get pressure regulating valves, because that means our flame cannons can shoot further. I don't know if we're actually going to use our flame cannons ever again, but hell, why not? It was definitely worth watching... Jesus Christ. Watching Wood Elves get incinerated by waves of fire was, I think, one of the most satisfying battle. I think that was one of the most satisfying sights I've had in Warhammer. That was pretty good. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see like a mid-campaign thing where maybe Nagash rises up and like all of the undead factions, sort of like even the Tomb Kings, like ally together and become like a threat. That might be quite nice. To be honest, I think what I'd really like is kind of like Stellaris, where you have... Oh, there we go, an Age of Peace. So Archaon is... Well, Archaon lasted... What was that? Like 4-5 turns? Okay, so if I have a look at our relations now, it's dropping down to 187. What about Carl?
So
199. Yeah, it definitely drops very, very quickly. I don't quite know what it is, but it just plummets. Because we definitely like the age, like the Shield of Civilization only popped up a few turns ago, so we wouldn't have got that much benefit from it.
welcome, oldest friends of the Empire.
Yeah, you say that. You say that. Right, Vashnar, I do not like, I do not trust. I'm going to stab him in the back before he can do anything.
Yes.
Thorgrim is going to murder these guys because they've been raiding me for God knows how long, and then they had the bloody audacity to ask for a non-aggression pact and 9,000 monies. What a bunch of wankers. So we're going to deal with them.
As the High King commands, it is time.
And we're going to move up and prepare to... Now, if we just need... God, I hope I've calculated this right. So we just need Karak Norn, don't we? Everything else is done. No, it's not. Well, that's a long campaign. Oh, yeah, we just need Karak Norn. Fine, that's done. Now, we'd have Kazakarak, Karak 8 Peaks and Black Crag. We have Lemire and Khemri because we're allied with Cetra, and Cetra isn't allied with the Empire, so that should be fine. So that's 5. And then we just need 8, 6, 7, so we just need 3 more. So we could take Hell Pit, we can take Sartosa, and then we just need 1 more. So that could be either Miragliano, which does have defences, or Skaven Blight, which also has defences, so that's not ideal. In fact, all of them have defences. I mean, we can probably weather a couple of turns, so... Or can we? I mean, Hell Pit is lightly defended. So we might be okay. Basically, it's going to be ballsy. It's going to be ballsy, but you know me, I'm all about the balls. Logan, Chief Nutter. He is a Chief Nutter, isn't he? He nuts 3 times before breakfast, and then 4 times afterwards. That's just the kind of ludicrous bastard he is. Okay, Hell Pit's going to be an easy one to take. There is Castle Drakenhof down here, which is lightly defended. We could go and grab that instead. Okay, Angrund is going to go for Castle Drakenhof. Cobalt and Bob are going to head for Sartosa. Ozpin is at Hellpits. Then we have Erst and Sven at Karak Norn. And almost more importantly than anything else, we're also going to kick the shit out of Vashnar. I don't really care about any buildings. We're almost there. Okay, so Angrund actually needs to go back the way he came, but that's fine. Because until we're ready, he's not actually going to do it. And look at that, Vashnar's right. I knew he would, little shit. Ooh, you little bastard. Okay, you're going to land there. That's fine. Ozpin's already in position. Basically, everyone is almost in position. We just need to get Bob and Cobalt.
It shall be done.
And then we're good to go. And more importantly, let's murder... you know what? I'm not going to call my allies to help. Oh, I'm strength rank 1. Holy balls.
Ancestors hear us.
I really hate you. Vashnar is a bloody nightmare to deal with. Mostly because his army consists of Chosen, who are of course some of the best melee infantry in the game, and Dark Shards, who are of course one of the best missile units in the game. Plus, I mean, you know, mix in some Black Guards, some Dragons, some quite good cavalry. You know, suddenly you've got quite a nasty little army to deal with. Even worse if he manages to capture some settlements, because his garrison is always comprised of Chosen and Dark Shards. Now, Chosen you don't usually have to deal with in a garrison, for good reason, because the fuckers are basically impossible to fucking kill if they're up on a wall. Unless you can blow that wall up, of course. That does help. So trying to be flanked, we've got some Chaos Knights and some Cold Dread Knights flanking around, a couple of units of those guys, and a unit of Chaos Knights. We've also got quite a few, our garrison has arrived, so they're going to deal with some of those units as well. Black Dragon is trying to flank around, and he's getting filled full of... I mean, he's taking a lot of damage from our guns. But it does look like he's going to land in amongst the Iron Breakers, which, to be honest, I'm surprised he didn't want to go after my guns, but fair enough, more than happy with that. Belegar is charging after Vashnar, because he's like, I'm going to kick his little head in. I did play an Immeric campaign where Vashnar managed to capture quite a lot of stuff and then declare war on me. And basically, it was a frigging nightmare to deal with. So I am more than happy to just brutally murder Vashnar. I mean, one, it's preservation, right? Because if he decides to declare war on me, which, let's face it, he probably will eventually, then I don't want him capturing my stuff or making a little empire or whatever. So we're going to put a stop to that right away. And indeed we are, as the carpet cleaners wreck these Chosen with halbards. Belegar is chasing... I mean, Vashnar tangled with Belegar for a little while and then ran away, understandably, because, well, Belegar's fucking terrifying. Belegar, with the Sword of Cain, I think would legitimately be one of the more terrifying lords to have to face. Vashnar's shooting at people and... bop! Go on, hit him. There we go. Crunch. Ow! That's going to sting. Most of Vashnar's army is dead or dying. Getting a little bit shot up by the crossbows, but it's also hitting Vashnar quite a lot. Go on, get him! He's getting away! He's running away! Looks like most of his army's running away as well. Unfortunately, Belegar won't be able to catch up with him. But that's fine, because if we time it just right, maybe we can just drop some rocks on his head. Thank God he doesn't have hell cannons on top of everything else. Oh well, he's dead now, that's the main thing.
Belegar Ironhammer.
Yeah, you're not getting away.
On to vengeance.
Always kill Vashnar as soon as you see him, because the last thing you want is garrisons of chosen and dark shards. It's a nightmare to deal with. Right, also, you... I'm killing you. I'm not going to call my allies to help.
Destroy them.
That's it, you run. You better run. Oh. I didn't want you to run that far, though. I just wanted you to run... No, leave them be. Right, we'll chase after him. I don't think he's going to do much damage. I should have maybe got a little bit closer, but fuck it, it's fine. No biggie. We'll worry about that in a bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, good. Some people are ready for... What I might do is actually jump ahead, because at this moment in time, there's not much left for us to do, or anyone to... Alright, yeah. Or fight. Until we're in position with all of our armies. And that's going to still take a few more turns. So until then, we're just going to move our peeps into position and sort of just end turn, basically. Okay, so we've advanced a few turns, and I've had to get more armies than I thought I would need into position for two reasons. The first is that I'm only going to win because I hold Karakizor and Festa Spike, both of which currently owned by Tilia, so we need to retake them. Because as soon as I declare war on Karl, I'll be at war with everyone. The second is that while I could have, like, say, taken Sartosa and then come up to Karakizor and then gone to Festa Spike, that's going to take a few turns. And the problem is that in those intervening turns, we would get attacked a lot. And we would lose a lot of settlements. And you might think, well, so what? Of course, because the dwarves generate grudges, every time we lose a settlement, it generates a grudge to retake that settlement. So, because we need under 9 grudge severity to win the campaign, if we take any more than 1 turn to win the campaign, we will lose so many settlements that it will generate enough grudges to put us over. At that point, the only way to win the campaign is to wipe out everyone in the entire world. So as such, I've moved armies into position to take everything I need in 1 turn, in theory, because some of the cities are now defended. So, let's crack on. First things first, we're going to take Sartosa with Bob. Bob, go to it. Not going to call my allies in. But everyone's going to join in anyway, so who cares? So we'll auto-resolve that one.
Let us begin.
And occupy Sartosa. That's one of the settlements we need.
I am the White Dwarf.
Grombrindle's at Festa Spike, so we'll grab that one. And we're now hemorrhaging money because we don't have the trade income.
Vengeful Rune Lord. By the ancestor gods.
So we'll take Karak Norn. That should be nice and easy. Shame we didn't get to see the flame cannons again, but to be honest, that battle would have been very, very straightforward. So I was like, nah, there's no point.
I must fulfill my
okay, Ungrim. Should be an auto-resolve, and it is. Occupy that one. Okay. So now, we should have everything apart from Karakizor, which is fine. We also need 1 more of these settlements, which is going to be Hell Pit over here. Now, Hell Pit is currently defended by an army of the Border Princes. Yes, why the Border Princes are up here, I don't know, but they are, and we're going to have to deal with them.
To battle.
Let's hope Ozpin has enough Ozpinness in him. We need Hell Pit, and Ozpin's gonna give us Hell Pits. But it is filled with, well, a lot of stuff. And they're being, you know, quite irritating by not standing in front of the gates where I can shoot them all. Frankly, that's unsporting. Hiding behind the walls like a bunch of defenders in a siege. It's fine. We will draw the little buggers out. How are we going to do that, though? Well, yes, tell me about it. Well, what we're going to do now, as soon as anything comes through that gate, these units will lose their fucking minds, right? They will just blob. They will blob. They will blob hard. And if we had any magic, that would be great. We don't. If we had a Scepter of Stone, that would be great, but we also don't. So instead, what we're going to do is, because Ozpin has the Horn of the Ancestors, that's right, he has the horn. He has all the horns of every ancestor that's ever had a horn. He's got it. And so he's created this little ancestor spirit. The little ancestor spirit is going to come through the gate and say, hello, friends. And these guys are going to lose their fucking nuts. They're going to look at him. Just, get him. Fuck it. It's a ghost. And then we just go, Organ Guns, if you would just start shooting wildly, thanks. That would be great. Ah, yes, the jam. The jam flows. We care not whence the jam flows, but that it flows. Yep. Well, you don't have a head anymore, so, or a groin, to be honest. So, no problem. Yeah, we're leaving quite the bloody smear across. Look at the body. And then Ozpin's going to charge in, having well, done a lot of damage to the enemy forces. If we have a look at the numbers now, yeah, they've lost a lot of men here, and we can see little chunks of them, in fact, littering the ground. Some spleens, some wiggly, pipey bits. Who knows what those are? Yeah, there's a lot of dead bodies there. So I'd say that was a pretty good job, little ancestor spirit. The Horn of the Ancestors has done it again. Unfortunately, the horn has died, face down in a big pile of halberdiers. It's the way you would have wanted, probably. Don't know. Depends what the horn was about, really. And Ozpin is Ozpin is careering through and taking names and smashing heads in. Perfect. Good stuff there. We've got the Giant Slayers coming and joining in as well. The General of the Empire hanging around. And we've got our Iron Breakers now moving into position. There's still a fair few units in the city. I mean, distinctly less now that we reduced quite a lot of them to their component parts. But there's always more to deal with, and Iron Breakers now flooding into the city. Ozpin's surrounded, but that's how he likes, because it's a target-rich environment for him. Come on, lads. Hammerers slowly getting work done. We've got Iron Breakers flooding into the city now. These guys should do very well against the state troops, because state troops should be quite shit. They do have quite a lot of melee defense, but the Iron Breakers, their weapon strength is reasonable, their melee attack is fine, their defense, on the other hand, incredibly good. Some satchel charges coming out there, doing a lot of damage to the crossbows. It's looking pretty good, and our handgunners have spotted the enemy general, trying to leg it, and have shot his head off. And some other bits and... Ooh. That's unfortunate. Yep, he's dead. He's super dead. So just now pushing into the city. You can see units now fleeing away from the gates. What I should have done is not got a nice little surround on these lads over here. We should have come around, hit them in the flank. That would have been amazing. Didn't do it, but I mean, Ozpin's here. Ozpin with his 25 kills. Just wading straight into the enemy army. Go on, give him a hit. Kablamo! Thunderers are taking a little bit of fire here from the crossbows, because of course crossbows can arc their fire, because that's how crossbows work, apparently. Anyway, no big deal. What we're going to do is, in a minute, I'm going to realise that we can't get any shots off here, but we can if we were up on the wall. So the Thunderers will actually climb up on top of the wall, take the wall, and then start firing down onto the defenders inside, which works out quite nicely for us.
Their empire is a brittle thing.
Halberdiers exploding left, right, and centre, which is exactly what we wanted. How many kills? And the organ guns, 226, 244, and 118. The organ guns are, when you can get them to like scythe through an enemy unit, they do so much damage. There's, what's his name? Kargan? Kargan. There he goes. Kargan getting stuck in as well. Now, there are some great swords in this blob, and they will do quite well against our Iron Breakers. I mean, they'll do okay. They're not the best infantry. They do have that extra weapon strength. Their melee attack's pretty good, but I don't know if they... I mean, they're quite tanky. I think they probably will win that engagement, but I think it'll be close. And that's assuming that the Giant Slayers and the 8-Peak Guard don't break through and slam into them, like what is happening now. We can see the Thunderers now climbing up onto the wall, getting some, like, look at this. Look at great shots down on the... That's it, firing through the board. Pop, 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 pop. There we go. That's looking pretty good. We can get some more of our Thunderers up on the wall to start whittling down those units. Meanwhile, we do have some Iron Breakers actually chasing units into the city. They're actually doing quite well. Chasing down these crossbows, which are being a bit of a problem, and these great swords as well. We could use a little bit of support from them. There's another unit of Iron Breakers moving up to do just that as we try and break through this little barricade of halberdiers. And the halberdiers are, I mean, they're not bad. They're not a bad defensive unit. Their melee defense is very, very high. They're not very offensive themselves, but they do okay. They are a reasonably good tanky front line. They're not great swords, but then the Empire doesn't really have a very tanky front line. It's state troops. The great swords are really just sort of like attacking infantry units. I mean, they're not bad, but they don't have any shields, so they're kind of in the same vein as, say, the Harganeth Executioners, the Swordmasters of Hoeth, although they're slightly more... they're slightly better than the Swordmasters. Yeah, you've been shooting at us with your little crossbows, and now we have the high ground, and we're going to start shooting you back in the back of the head. So suck it. Having said that, like putting these units up here, they don't seem to shoot all that much, do they? I don't know what it is to do with the... Maybe it's because they don't have like line of sight or something. I don't know. It's definitely better to have units off the wall. Weirdly. There's Ozpin with 50 kills now as he's carved his way through Imperial troops. And Kurgan with the 43. And of course, our Giant Slayers who have not died this battle, which is... is that a first? I think that might be a first. We do have some great swords engaging the Iron Breakers over here, but another unit of Iron Breakers are arriving from the rear. That's going to catch them in a little Iron Breaker sandwich, and they're the meat. So they should be losing this battle, I think, winning slightly. I think they'll start to lose it, but we've broken through. We are now through, and also our handguns and also artillery opening fire on the units defending the city centre. Ozpin's moving up with these 55 kills. I mean, he's got some really good equipment. We've given him a lot of really good stuff. You can see the great swords over there starting to waver due to being surrounded. And in fact, everyone's starting to waver. Army loss is starting to take effect. There we go. The Hell Pit is ours. I don't know why we want it, but, well, no, I do know why we want. We want to win the game, but it's a fixer-upper, that's for sure. But Ozpin got it all the same. Well, that's one down. And it should be, if we check, just double check, so tick, tick. So we don't have Karakizor, that's the only one we don't have. Check, 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 check. So it kind of feels fitting that the last settlement we need is, of course, our once home, Karakizor. And Belegar's brought along Thorgrim Grudgebearer to help him out with this one, because the settlement is not only defended with a maximum rank garrison, but also with a big old army.
Yes.
Still, we've got, you know, Belegar and Thorgrim Grudgebearer. It's not... I mean, the outcome of this is not in anyone's doubt. But still, I'm glad I managed to finish this campaign off because... God, fuck Carl. Honest to God, fuck Carl. Fuck that guy. I hate him so much. Hello, boys. We're back. Honey, I'm home. So we've got Ghost Squad, Belegar and Thorgrim to attack the gates. And yeah, they're really throwing everything they've got at this little blob, which I'm absolutely fine with because, of course, we've got that Scepter of Stone or whatever that ability is. So let's just see how many Empire troops we can kill with a bunch of rocks. I think that was fine.
Strike them through their beards. You'll find flesh eventually.
I mean, yeah, all right. I mean, the mortars are helping as well. That has made a big dent to the units at the gates. I think Ghost Squad can finish off. In fact, the enemy general is in the mix here, and I think he's regretting his choice intently because everyone's trying to kill him. He's getting out of there. He's got a little health potion. The mortars are really helping with killing the Empire troops. It looks like the general is coming. Is he coming back? The absolute lunatic. He's like, I want to have another go at killing all the ghosts. Oh, he's right in the middle there. Is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? His morale's dropping very quickly, so I'm starting to think it might not be a good idea for him. Wow. Yeah, no, he's not doing very well, is he? And he's dead. Well, good luck for him. The rest of our forces are in a nice little formation here. We've taken out all the towers. They're no longer doing any damage to us, and it's just a case of bombarding the defenders into submission. Or, you know, bludgeoning them to death in melee combat, either way. Again, they're all very nicely grouped up. Look at this. This is a lovely little formation they have here. I mean, the mortars, again, beautiful stuff as they jamify their own men. Good work there. There's just a lot of... They've just, like, thrown everything they can to try and stop us, and we're slowly sort of, like, mulching our way through them. You can see the numbers of Allied troops dropping substantially, especially when the mortars, you know, drop mortar shells on their own heads. I guess that's an option. As Thorgrim just waddling his way through, smashing people. 41 kills on Thorgrim, 63 on Belegar. More and more Empire troops throwing themselves into the melee. And we're going to drop some more rocks on them because that was fun last time. That worked. Created a lot of jam. Let's see how many we can kill this time. Now, they're all really nicely packed in. Yeah, that'll do it. That was pretty good. That was pretty good, leaving a big pile of dead and mangled corpses at the gates, as is tradition. And, I mean, Thorgrim's taken a bit of damage. Everyone else is absolutely fine. So, they have wasted, what's that, about half their strength? At trying to kill 5 of our characters, and failed. Failed spectacularly. They do still have more units. We can see the balance of power has shifted dramatically in our favour. Not like when we're fighting bloody Savage Orcs. Come on, lads, we don't have all day. I don't really think that the mortars know what they're doing. I mean, it's always nice to use the enemy artillery against it, especially against units where the mortar shells aren't really going to do that much damage. It looks like we've almost broken through. A few units rallying and coming back to try and stem the tide, but so far it looks like we definitely have the upper hand. Lots of units fleeing in all directions, some rallying, I mean, some shattering as well. You can see there's 12 halberdiers there now shattered and fleeing off. mortar shells coming in, and mostly, again, it's still mostly killing the Imperial troops, which is fine by me. But it's time to wrap this up. So the Iron Breakers now moving up. Going to take the city proper. To do that, we've got most of our hero squad now heading towards the city centre, although Thorgrim's actually quite slow, and we're getting like attacked by units that are rallying, so we need to sort of like bop them and then continue. So many units like just absolutely just eviscerated, running for the exit point. I'm not surprised, really. I mean, look at the absolute carnage that we have wrought. Absolute devastation. If you came across that, you'd be like, I don't want to fight whatever did that. I'm out. Thorgrim is getting attacked in the back by some great swords, which is a bit of a problem, which means we're going to split our hero squad in two as Jacob and Robert go to take the city centre, and Belegar and Slimer come back to help the High King, because otherwise, you know, I mean, we don't really want to lose the High King on the last battle of the campaign. The mortar's finally actually doing some damage to the dwarves, but we are now spilling into the city. It's just a matter of time now, basically. It's like the Bright Wizard tries to use a burning head to incinerate the Marley brothers, but it doesn't really do anything apart from incinerate most of their own troops. Apparently Jacob not very happy about that man firing off a mortar. He's just chopping off heads left, right and centre. That's it. Smash the mortar. It's better. Oh, they're just running away now. Are they terrified? They are terrified. Now they're terrified. Now they're terrified. And as dwarves spill into the city, there's Belegar, Slimer and Thorgrim taking out some great swords. The carpet cleaners have also found their mark as they've come into the city behind another unit of great swords and are vaporizing them. And that means the hammerers and iron breakers now free to push further into the city, which is, I'm going to be honest, now well and truly ours. And there we go. And that should win the campaign for us. Oh. I mean, if Carl hadn't been such a knob, that would have been a lot easier. But as it is, it's fine. We won anyway. That's the main thing. Next up, Deathmaster Snitch will be starting tomorrow. If there's anyone that can kill Carl, it's that guy, or at least wipe out his faction, which is effectively the same thing. Actually, we can proper assassinate him, can't we? Literally just completely one-shot a legendary lord. Kill Carl. Wait until he's at the top of his strength, when he's strength rank 1, looking all chisel-jawed, and then just bop him. Oh. That will have to wait until the next campaign, though, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.